Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Jessie, and in today's video we are picking my April TBR. Last month for my March TBR, I got a random color generator website and then I picked 6 different colors. Whatever cover of the book matched best with the color that it picked for me, I added that book to my TBR. I had a lot of fun doing it, so I'm going to keep doing it for at least a little while. So that's what we're doing again this month. I'm going to pick some colors. I'm going to do 6 again. Speaking of my March TBR, I had 6 books on there. I read 4 out of the 6 of them. We're just going to keep this going, pick some books for April. Getting right into it, we are going to pick our first color. I feel like this is literally the color I got first last time or something like that. It's a little greenish color. It's showing up very neon green. That's so off. I was hoping I could use that one. I have 3 green books. This is a situation I was in last time. I had these 2. I recently bought this one, so this is going to be added to the green. And this green is so bright. Whoops, accidentally just picked my second color. Okay, so once again, just like last time, we have Collide, which is a hockey romance. Then I have Masters of Death by Olivia Blake, and this is, I'm pretty sure it's a fantasy, but I don't know if it's like fantasy or magical realism. And then I have Siege and Storm, which is the second book in the Shadow and Bone trilogy. Here I go again, trying to pick books that are not the first book in a series. But I think this color is most like this one. I don't know where I'm gonna put the color, but wherever it is, we have this one. So it's pretty much green. I feel like this is as close as we're gonna get, so I'm gonna pick this one. And then these ones are going back once again. I guess I just don't want to read these ones. This one seems kind of short though, actually, and I haven't read a book by her yet. I have this one and then One for My Enemy. I would really like to read one of those. I just don't know why I'm not doing it yet. Second color, second book. We have this brownish color, kind of like a stone brown, a little yellowy. Just like last time, we have Gallant by V. Schwab. That could match this pretty well. That's too gold. I could do Firekeeper's Daughter. I think this is the book that I've had on my TBR the longest, so I definitely need to read this. I think this is a YA fantasy. I've heard great things about this book for years, so I really do need to pick this up. And it matches the color pretty well. I know you can't really see it on my phone right now. I think this one's a little too brownish. That's kind of the only color that matches, and this one is pretty legit too. So I think I'm gonna go with Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Boulley. Finally. Holy moly. I'm already like, oh, it's such a nice feeling to get a book that I've had on my TBR off my TBR, but then I still have to read it. Third color is another green, so that's kind of boring. But this one actually matches one of these more. So I think it's time. I think it's time to pick one of these. That's going to be between Collide and the Masters of Death. I mean, these are literally the same color, so I just got to pick one. This is one of the last romances on my TBR, but I've had this one longer, so I feel like I should go with this one. But I already have so many fantasies. But I want to read a book by Olivia Blake. Why is this so difficult? Guys, what do I want to read? This kind of is the same vibe as Icebreaker, I feel like. Not just because it's hockey, but because it says, when a reckless mistake by his team threatens to jeopardize their entire season. I personally didn't like Icebreaker too much, but obviously this is an entirely different book, so I could like this a lot more. But I'm not really feeling romance. I don't know. I don't think it's time for this one yet. I think I'm gonna hold off. And I guess I could make the excuse that it's the first book in a series. I have no idea when the second book is coming out, if it even has yet. And this is a standalone, which we love standalones when we're trying to not read too many series. So we're gonna go with Masters of Death by Olivia Blake. Fourth color. Ooh, this one's pretty. This is like a, I don't want to say periwinkle. It might look periwinkle on the camera, but it's definitely pretty true blue. I like this color. Ooh. Okay, me just saying I don't want to start a series, but about to pick a series. We could do the book I had on my March TBR that I hadn't read yet. I feel like I have quite a bit of blue books. This one's a little too bluish. That one's too dark blue. Oh. I don't know why I was expecting this cover to be blue. I think because the back is blue and that's what I was seeing. The only book that kind of matches this is A Winter's Promise by Christelle Dabos. This is a YA fantasy also. We have a trend here. I think there's 4 books in this series. I have also heard great things about this one. I was exploring Barnes one day and I picked this up without knowing that it had good reviews. I think maybe it's time. But yeah, this series consists of 4 books. It's called The Mirror Visitor. And that's a pretty spot on color, so I think we're gonna have to go with this one. Winter's Promise is gonna be book 4. Good thing I like fantasy. Okay, color 5. Ooh, I think I like this color even more, but I don't think I have any books this color. So this one is turquoise, I guess, like a greenish blue. Honestly, this one could be coming up for air. I know this cover is black, but the writing is blue, So, I mean, this looks more green. You guys are gonna be like, you're not picking the right colors at all, but I swear in person, these match up so well. This one I think is a young adult romance. I got this off a book outlet. It's a little beat up. The cover's way too big for the book itself. I don't know why it's like that. There's like so much gappage over here. I love this cover though. This is an option for this color. I truly don't think I have any more books that match this. I'm sure that color's in there somewhere, but not enough. This one's going pretty easy for me. I guess Coming Up for Air is going to be added. That's good. We're getting a little break from fantasy with a little YA romance. Gonna be knocking out the YA this month. One more color. Last one. Hopefully it's a different color than what we've been getting. Oh, that's a pumpkin. That is a burnt orange. Okay, let's see. Oh, dang it. I was like, I need to read Aquawar next, but that's a hot pink cover. I thought that was going to be the orange one, but that's Silver Flames. Can't be adding that to my TBR. That's not on here. It's in my room with my books. That would have been a good option. Oh, okay, so this one's more red, but this is Unravel the Dusk. We're gonna keep this as an option though. I have Ruin and Rising, which would mean that I would have to add Shadow and Bone to my TBR because this is the first book. I also have Vow of Thieves, but that's a little too red for this color. All right, I mean, I think it's either between Unravel the Dusk and Ruin and Rising. So this is the second book in a duology, and then this one is the third book in the Shadow and Bone trilogy. If we hold it up, not really either or. I feel like this one's too red. This one does have some orangey marbling in the middle. That's gonna have to work. Was that book 6? Oh my god, we're already done. How sad. See, I could keep going, but then that's way too many books on my TBR and I'll get overwhelmed. Because I literally would keep going until I pick every single book off this TBR, and then this whole video is pointless. Those are my 6 colors, 6 books. First up we have Station Storm. This is the second book in the Shadow and Bone trilogy, so I'm of course automatically adding Shadow and Bone to this TBR. This is about an orphan soldier, and I think she has a secret magic, so she's trying to get across the Shadowfold thing, and there's a whole bunch of monsters in this darkness. And then when her and her people are attacked, she unleashes this sort of magic. She ends up going to train with this elite military known as the Grisha, and then the Grisha's leader kind of understands that Alina can have this sort of magic and unleash this sort of magic, so I think he starts working with her in order to see what she can fully do. So that is going to be the concept of this trilogy, which obviously we picked the next book last, so that'll come up when I get to that. And then we have Firekeeper's Daughter. Like I said, this one's a YA fantasy. This is about an 18-year-old who has never quite fit in. I believe this is about Native Americans. So she wants to go away to college. She dreams of a fresh start, but when family tragedy strikes, she puts her future on hold to look after her mother. And she meets someone named Jamie, who is a new recruit on her brother's hockey team. Okay, so this is kind of like a romance. So it says she falls for Jamie, but she thinks that he's hiding something. Okay, and then she gets put into an FBI investigation of a new drug because she witnesses a murder. Okay, this is interesting. What the heck? Why have I never read what this book was about? Firekeeper's Daughter is an electrifying thriller layered with a rich exploration of the modern Native experience, a reckoning of current and historical injustices, and a powerful celebration of community. I don't know why I never read what this book is about because it sounds pretty darn good. I am excited for this now, thankfully. And then we have Masters of Death by Olivia Blake, and I believe this one is about a real estate agent and a vampire? A medium. The real estate agent, her name is Viola. She's a real estate agent and a vampire. And then the house that she's trying to sell is haunted. So then we have Fox, who is a medium, and he is a fraud, and apparently he's the godson of death. They end up working with each other on this mansion, trying to figure out what is haunting it. I think more people come in to help them, and then they figure out this whole thing going on with this house. That is technically book number 3, but book number 4 since we had to add Shadow and Bone. And then next we have A Winter's Promise. This is book 1 in the Mirror Visitor series. This is about Ophelia. She possesses 2 special gifts, a talent for seeing into an object's past and the ability to travel through mirrors. She's about to get married off, but she has to navigate her fiance's clan because I guess there's lies and stuff in between them. So a little vague. Kind of seems like a typical fantasy setup, at least. We have Coming Up for Air. This is by Nicole B. Tyndall. Hadley is our main character, and her mom had a cancer scare. It says she's very guarded, very kept to herself with her emotions, and she does photography, so she's working on getting into her dream school with that. And then she meets a Brayden, who is the star of the swim team. So kind of like the popular person in school and then the shy person is pretty much the vibe we're getting from this. Brayden is someone that Hadley kind of tries to stay away from, but Brayden sees something in Hadley. This is a story of them kind of becoming super happy with each other, and then tragedy kind of strikes within Hadley's family. So she gets devastating news, and then it says Brayden starts down a self-destructive path that could shatter everything. I think it's going to be a very strong emotional story between the two of them having to deal with rough patches in their lives and seeing if they can make it out of that situation. Lastly, we have Ruin and Rising. Not going to read the back since it is part of a series. Finally reading the Shadow and Bone trilogy. I'm very excited for that. I have been dying to read that for a while now. Just Just like March, I'm adding a whole series to my TBR. That's fun. This is my April TBR. If you've read any of these books, let me know what you thought of them. That is it for this video. Thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you in my next one, whatever it may be. Let me know what book you want to read in April too. Oh my god, wait, there's books coming out in April that I want to read. I swear it's like a never-ending TBR. Like, I'm never gonna get out of it. I'll just say this now because I don't know what other video I would say this in. Wild Love by Elsie Silver comes out April 12th. Or April 9th. I don't know, somewhere in the beginning of April. I do have that pre-ordered from Barnes, so I will get that whenever it comes in the mail. Funny Story by Emily Henry comes out, I think, April 23rd, so it's towards the end of the month, which, thank goodness. I'll probably read Wild Love, or I'll try to fit Wild Love in during April. Funny Story, I'll probably wait until May to read that one. We'll see. I'll try my best, and we'll see how many books we can read. That do be all. I will see you guys later. Bye.